Hi, it's Reverend Stephanie Denise. I hope that you are having a fantastic day. I'm coming to you tonight to talk about embracing change and finding purpose after your young adult children move out. I thought I would hop on and share some information with you today. We just had a great weekend, but bittersweet. My son he transferred to a new university. He was at a 2-year junior college, finished up there, and now he's transferred on to university. My daughter has been at a university for the last 2 years and now going into her third year. So they're both juniors. And as I sit here, I'm so happy for the success and the accomplishments that both of them are making and the strides that they're making on their own life journey. But at the same time, it was a joy having them home for the summer, even though they were both working and preparing for their future careers. It still was nice having them at home, but I understand that they have to go on their own journey. So again, that's what we're talking about tonight, being an empty nester and having young adult children who have flown the coop, so to speak. I'm getting ready to share my screen. And again, it's Reverend Stephanie Denise. I'm so excited to be with you tonight. All right, let's see here. So embracing change, a new chapter for empty nesters. So as your adult children embark on their own journeys, you or we find ourselves at the threshold of a new chapter in our lives, right? The empty nest phase can bring a mix of emotions. We have pride in our children's independence, but there's a tinge of sadness. Remember, I started off by saying it's bittersweet. There's a tinge of sadness at their departure, and the excitement for the possibilities that lie ahead for them is really high. But this transition also offers a unique opportunity for personal growth and rediscovery and even renewed purpose for us, the empty nester. Let's explore how faith is very important during this season, self-reflection, and how embracing change can guide us through this transformative period, helping us to find joy and helping us to find fulfillment in our empty nest years, right? These are the years that we have to be able to share so much wisdom with other people. But it is emotional, as I said before, the emotional journey of empty nesters, right? Initial shock. The sudden quiet in the house can be jarring, to say the least. You start to, or you may feel a sense of loss and disorientation as you adjust to the absence of your daily presence of the children, right? The children, they're, even though they're adults, right? They're still our children. And so there may be some missing of their daily presence. There's, of course, mixed emotions. Pride in our children's independence is awesome, but it also gets kind of commingled with sadness, right? And nostalgia. You might experience moments of joy followed by unexpected bouts of emptiness, right? You might find yourself scrolling through your phone, looking at old pictures or looking at the pictures on the mantle of how they've grown over time. There's an adjustment that has to happen. As time passes, you begin to adapt to a new routine and you start to appreciate the extra time and the freedom, even though you miss the children. And I've gone through this. This is now their third year. So every summer, my children have come home for the summer and then gone back to school in the fall. So I get to have about 2.5 months with them here at home, even though they're working and, catching up with their friends and all of that, they're still home. So I get used to it. And just as I'm getting used to it, then it's time for them to go back to school, right? And so there is an adjustment. But what happens is acceptance and also growth. Eventually, we start to embrace this new phase of life. We rediscover ourselves and our relationships, and we find new purpose and joy, right, in these years. So I've started painting, and the other thing I've taken up is yoga. And the thing about painting is, whatever I'm feeling, whatever my emotions are during that time, that's what I paint. So last night we got my son all set up in his new place for school. And then when I came home, I just felt really inspired to paint. And so I painted a portrait for the wall. And so it just reminds me of this season. It's a acceptance and growth season, right? So also we can find comfort. We can find comfort in our faith. Being a person of faith adds so much comfort, right? God's promise in Jeremiah 29:11 reminds us of God's unwavering love, right? He favors us. He says he knows the plans for our lives, right? And he promises us that we're going to have a great future. So even in times of change, we can trust that he has a purpose for us. And so part of the journey for us now is finding what is God's purpose in this new season, right? Because he tells us, for I know the plans, right? Meditation and prayer. Prayer and meditation is so important during this season. God is speaking to us in that still small voice. And God wants us to spend time in prayer and in quiet reflection, allowing God's presence to comfort and guide you through this transition, providing peace and clarity. And it's okay. I even told my son yesterday, I said, sometimes when you're in a new season, it's unfamiliar. And there are things that happen that sometimes are inconvenient or awkward or cause you some discomfort, but it's okay to stop and pray and ask for God's help and God's assistance, right? Because the word of God tells us that he will never leave us nor forsake us. Praise God. So know that prayer and meditation can be a time to provide peace and clarity in this new season. Also, our faith community is so important. Lean on your faith community, whether you go to a church, a mosque, a synagogue, lean on your church family for support. Excuse me. Lean on your church family for support. Bible studies, small groups, are places where you can share your experiences and draw strength from others. I know last year, hold on, I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Last year, about this time, I started a small group started working with a small group at my church. And even though I was the teacher or the presenter or facilitator of that group, there were women there who had older children than I did. Hold on, I'm going to pause this for just a minute. One second. So as I was saying, there were people in my church who had children who were adults. And so it was much easier to talk with them, teach them, and also learn from them, which is very important. Because sometimes we don't know it all. And we don't even know the things that we need help or support with. And so we go about things as if we know everything, but the reality is we don't know everything and we need help, and we're able to support one another. So finding a small group If it's a faith-based group, even better. But finding a small group of like-minded people who are going through some of the same things that you're going through are very helpful and beneficial. Oops, here we go. All right. And again, spiritual growth. This is a time to deepen your faith, explore new spiritual practices, revisit ones that you might have put aside during those really busy parenting years. Now, this is one that is so important. I talk about this all the time. If you've seen any of my other videos, or if you're one of my coaching clients, you know that I love to speak about rediscovering yourself. I do have a book that is called 21 Days of Faith, Finding Your Purpose. That book is on Amazon, 21 Days of Faith, Finding Your Purpose. And the whole idea is that each day in that book, there's a little reading, there's a question, and from that question, there's an activity to do, not a long activity, but the idea is if each day you do those activities, that by day 21, you will have rediscovered yourself and your purpose. So important to reflect on our personal interests, to take time and reconnect with our hobbies, our passions, that we might have put on hold, right? We put a lot of things on hold for our children because they have soccer, they have volleyball, they have basketball, they have softball, they have dance, they have gymnastics, they have debate, they have choir. There are so many things. They have taekwondo, they have karate. There are so many things, and then they have a social life, birthday parties, quinceañeras, bar mitzvahs, so many different areas that they find themselves having to take part in. And you, as the parent, have spent so much time, whether it's painting, gardening, learning a new language. Those are things that are specifically for you. Now is the perfect time for you to explore what brings you joy. That's a question for you. If you can, type in the chat, what brings you joy? I like to utilize the chat, but sometimes I forget. I just get going. What brings gardening? Yeah, good. Thank you. Painting. Thank you. Prioritize self-care during this time. This is not anything new, but for whatever reason, we forget to focus on our physical and emotional well-being and establish regular exercise routines. They have apps. This one that I'm loving right now, and I've just found it, is Yoga Go Go. I think that's what it's called. But every morning there is a yoga routine for me to do. They're no more than 10 minutes, usually 6 to 10 minutes. And they're so refreshing every morning. It's so easy. I just, we check our phone in the morning, we check our emails, we check our texts. Why not just go to the app for exercise and spend 10 to 15 minutes on you, right? An exercise routine, practicing mindfulness, treating yourself to relaxing activities that nourish your soul are key during this season. And set some new goals for yourself, right? Goal setting is so important. What the goals that you set while you're raising children are not the same goals that you set when you have adult children. So dream big, set personal goals for this new chapter, whether it's traveling to new places, writing a book, or starting a small business. Let your aspirations guide you forward. So exciting. Nurturing relationships. So I've always been very bad about the phone. And it was so wonderful when, texting came into play, because I will text people. I'm a texter. I will text you and speak with you that way. But if I have to actually pick up the phone and dial your number, that's a little bit harder for me. And so having kids and having the busyness of kids and the busyness of family allows a person who's not necessarily a phone person to use that as an excuse. But you know what? No more excuses. This is the time to reconnect. Reconnect with your partner. Invest time in your marriage or your partnership. So important, right? Because this is when companionship really matters. This is when partnership really, really matters, right? Because now you don't have the focus of the children anymore. It's time for you to focus on what are your needs, right? So plan date nights, engage in meaningful conversations, rediscover the joy of being a couple without all those daily responsibilities of parenting, right? Because being a parent is a lot of work. Cultivate relationships and not only your relationship, but friendships. Oh my gosh, that's so important, right? So reach out to old friends and even make new friends. This is a time to really, really just open up your life, right? I call these the wisdom years because you've experienced so much, you've learned so much, and this is just the time to share that wisdom with others, right? So reach out to old friends, make new friends, join clubs or groups that align with your interests. There's things that you've been interested in for years. And now, what about having the time to reach out to other people with those same interests? How exciting is that? Foster connections with like-minded individuals who also share this same life stage. There is so much comfort and other people who understand what you're going through because they're going through it as well. As long as you are positive about it and lift one another up. Adapt family dynamics. Develop new ways to stay connected with your adult children, right? Maybe that means family Sunday dinner, right? Where they come and have dinner with you on Sundays. Maybe it's a Saturday lunch date, or even a Sunday brunch date, or maybe it's a Friday movie night, right? Be creative on how you can stay connected with your adult children. Embrace technology, right? Video calls, if they live across the country or if they if they live down the street, right? Plan family gatherings is so important. I know my adult children, even though they're, like I said, they're juniors in college, but one of the things that we planned and we did at the end of this summer is we planned a trip to Disneyland. We have always loved Disneyland. And I think we started going there when they were 3, and they'll be 20 next month. So we go there every year. And it was kind of like, why should we change that? Right? That's our thing that we do. And so we planned to go to Disneyland, and we went to Disneyland for a week in early August. And so that was really exciting. And they were still excited. They still had the joy that they had as little kids. And so that was exciting for me to see how happy they were. At Disneyland, right? One of the happiest places on earth. Create new traditions that honor your evolving relationships. There are things that are going to change. Christmas is a little bit different for us now. My son, my son plays basketball and my daughter dances in addition to school. And then my daughter also teaches, right? So they have a very, very busy schedule. So Christmas doesn't look the same as it has in the past. So it's really a matter of, Christmas Day, we're together, but then oftentimes my son will have a tournament, a basketball tournament that will be right after Christmas, like say the 26th through the 28th or something like that. So we have to change our dynamics and understand that there are some evolving relationships and family dynamics. And don't be upset about it. Know that that's just part of the journey. Finding new purpose. everything I do in this season in my life is really about finding new purpose. And it seems like you can find new purpose, almost on a daily basis, but there's always something to do. There's always someone who needs your expertise. There's always someone who needs your help. There's always someone who needs your knowledge and your wisdom. So give back. Why not volunteer? Give back to your community, whether it's at a local food bank, animal shelter, mentoring program. Why not share time and skills that can bring so much fulfillment, immense fulfillment? Right? So important. I always tell people I'm a lifelong learner. I love this one. Pursue education and training in areas that interest you. About 7 years ago, now I have been an elementary school teacher since 1998. So that tells you a long time. Since 1998, I've been an elementary school teacher. And in 20, oh no, I said seven. It's not even seven. In 2019, I got a real estate license because I had always been passionate about real estate, always passionate about it. Because I feel like if you have a home, that's a foundation and you can build on a strong foundation. Right. And so, is there something that you're interested in? Even if you've been in a career for 20 years or 30 years, it's okay. You can take time to pursue education or training in areas that interest you. Take classes. There's so many classes offered at the local college, community colleges. You can attend workshops. You can earn certifications to expand your knowledge and skills, right? You can make a career shift. Consider what it would be like if you changed or started a new business venture, right? Use your years of experience and newfound freedom to explore professional paths that align with your passions. So important, right? Sometimes people think once we hit a certain age that we don't have anything else to offer, anything else to give. But I think it's just the opposite. Because these are our wisdom years, we have a great deal to offer to others with our great experience, our vast knowledge of many things. Family legacy is also important. Focus on creating a lasting family legacy, right? So this is the time to write your memoir, because that could be passed on to generations that come after you so that they can know more about you. They can know the stories. Organize family histories, so important. Start new traditions that will be cherished for so many generations to come. That is so, so rich. If you can do that, then that's a blessing for your family. That just helps your family to be even more aware of where they came from and the journey that the family has taken over the course of time. Right. One of the things that our family did is we did 23andMe, and we did our ancestry, and we were able to trace our ancestry, and that was so rich and so valuable. You have to cherish who you are and whose you are. Embracing change with grace. I love this. This is beautiful. We have to practice gratitude. Practice gratitude. Be grateful. Be thankful every single day. Do you know that when you are grateful and thankful, God gives you even more to be grateful for and more to be thankful for? Cultivate a mindset of thankfulness for the years of parenting and for the new opportunities ahead. Keep a gratitude journal. This is something I share on just about every video, every class. Keep a gratitude journal to focus on the positive aspects of this life transition. Imagine getting up in the morning and writing 3 things that you're grateful for, or before you go to bed, writing things that you are grateful for on that day. And then it just starts to cultivate a habit of gratitude and thankfulness. Be flexible, continue to embrace flexibility, be open to new experiences, new ways of doing things. Oh my gosh, we don't have to keep doing the things the same way, right? Allow yourself to adapt, allow yourself to grow, have grace for yourself too in this time, and know that change is just natural. It's a beautiful part of life's journey, right? This is just a new season. It's just a beautiful new season. Continue to celebrate milestones. Always acknowledge and celebrate both your children's achievements and your own personal growth, right? So if you complete a certificate program, celebrate that. If your children get accepted into some special area of study, celebrate that, right? Create new rituals that mark important moments in your empty nest years, right? So, what is it that you love to do, or what is it that you'll do in this new season? And then make sure that you continue to do those things, right? Because those things are specific to this new season, this empty nest season. Seek support. It could be daunting, it's different not having your kids in the house, right? So don't hesitate to reach out for support when needed. I do a lot of coaching with empty nesters and people who have faced life's challenges. And one of the reasons I do that is because life challenges have hit me, within these last few years. I went through a divorce. In these last few years, I lost my father. He passed unexpectedly. Earlier this year, my grandmother, who I was very close to, passed. And these are things that I was not expecting. These were things that I was not ready for. The grace is that my grandmother had lived a full, beautiful life. The grace is that my father had loved us unconditionally and taught not only me, but my children so much. So even though he left us too soon, we had valuable life lessons that we can stand on from here until forever, right? So seek support. Don't hesitate to reach out for support when needed, or coaching when needed, or therapy when needed, and connect with other empty nesters. And seek counseling if that is something that is needed as well, because there are many emotions tied to this season. And so you want to be able to navigate all of the emotions that come with this season, and also be optimistic. Type that word in the chat, optimistic. I love it. Be optimistic. It's okay. You have a bright future ahead. Embrace the new opportunities. Pursue passions and dreams, learn new skills. So important. Travel and explore the world, right? Find a place to go that you haven't been before. One of my favorite places in the world is Istanbul, Turkey. I would have never believed that that would have been one of my favorite places. But the water, um, oh my gosh, the open market bazaars, the food, the people, the culture, the historic culture, the mix of Christianity and Muslim and Orthodox religions. Oh my gosh, it just makes for such a beautiful place. The continents touching each other there, where you have you have continents touching one another, right? With just the body of water separating the two. Oh my God, it's amazing. But there's other places in the world that are amazing. I mean, Africa is amazing. Taiwan is amazing. Hawaii is amazing. You can find amazement and wonder in your backyard as well as around the world. So be open, travel and explore. Deepen relationships, right? Spend quality time with a partner. So important. Nurture adult child bonds, right? So if you have a friend from childhood, this is the time to reach out. Cultivate friendships, grow in your faith. I always say that if you walk in faith, right? If you walk in faith, find your purpose, abundance will follow. And that's abundance in all areas. And so definitely grow in faith. Trust God's plan. God has a plan for you, right? So trust God's plan. Serve in ministry if that's something that God puts on your heart in this season, and deepen your spiritual practice. Okay. As you step into this new chapter of life, remember that the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Your empty nest years offer a beautiful canvas of possibilities, rich with opportunities for personal growth, deep relationships or deepened relationships, and spiritual renewal. Trust in God's plan for your life, knowing that He has equipped you with wisdom, love, and resilience to embrace this new season with grace and enthusiasm. Your future is bright, filled with promise and the potential for joy, purpose, and fulfillment. Embrace it with open arms and an expectant heart, right? So have an open heart in this season. Have an open heart. And I think that is the end. I'm going to stop sharing. All right. I'm going to stop sharing. I am so excited. I am so excited about what God has in store for you, what God has in store for us in this new season. Know that the best is yet to come, and that great things are ahead as you continue to forge new paths for yourself, as you create new memories with your family, new ways of being together, new ways of connecting in this new season, and building new traditions in this new season that match the season that you're in. Don't be scared. And if you are scared, just move forward anyway, because with others who are like-minded, you can travel this road. If you have any questions or if you feel like you need support, feel free to reach out to me. Reverend Stephanie Denise.com is our website. Rev Stephanie Denise 71 at Gmail is my direct email. And also on our website, there is a place to sign up for our master classes, not only our master classes, but our coaching. Coaching usually happens on Saturdays, Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. And we can do individual, or we can put you in a group session. It just depends on what you feel more comfortable with. But definitely reach out. If you decide that you want to go into our 7-week program, that's just $397 for the 7 weeks. And each session is 45 minutes to an hour. Again, generally on Saturdays, but we can work around that depending on your schedule. But know that whether you reach out for our coaching or you reach out to a therapist, a counselor, a small group, a faith-based group, just make sure that you reach out, because support is so key as you go through this new season. But it's a beautiful season, so embrace your wisdom years. Again, this is Reverend Stephanie Denise, and remember to walk in faith, find your purpose, and abundance will follow. Blessings to you.